Hi, Alex. So this is to Alex Willis. I read your post this week on the culturally conscious teacher or principal, and I really liked what you had to say about how maybe you've built relationships with your students, but oftentimes you have no idea about their religious affiliations and maybe holidays that they celebrate or special events that take place. And I think part of that is because we've grown up in a culture that's also really afraid of like separation of church and state, making sure that we separate the two, but at the same time we've lost sight of getting to know students in that way. And so I think there definitely is a happy medium, a balance that can be made there. And so I used to teach, right now I teach business, and I primarily teach personal finance, so it's a little bit different of a category, but I used to teach world history, and so it was really easy to integrate that stuff into my lessons because we would have discussions about world religions, and then it would give opportunity for students to share. But one idea that maybe I had as a teacher that you could include in your classroom is maybe like you have some type of bell ringer or something like that, where students could share about their experiences over the weekend or something that they maybe did in order to, something that they did on their own, and maybe religion comes from that, and maybe that would be a way to bring up conversation. Something else that I'm planning on doing next year with my students, I've never done this before, so I don't know if it'll work, but it sounds like fun, is called a Take 5. And something that I've been hearing as a complaint from employers in the workforce and things is that students don't know how to talk to people without using their devices or their phones or whatever it may be. And so getting more of that face-to-face contact I think is super important. And so something that I want to do is called a Take 5, where one day a week or something like that we would do a Take 5 where they would turn and talk to people in the room about a particular prompt or something that I put up on the board. So maybe it would be something like, do you have any religious affiliations? And if so, share about what's something that matters to you with somebody else around you. And, and maybe that would just be an opportunity for the teacher to walk around and hear. Or, hey, this past weekend we had off Friday because it was considered Good Friday according to the Christian faith. But maybe, how did you spend the day? Or, what is significant to you around this month? Or I don't know, you'd have to be very careful about your wording, but I think it still is important because a lot of times those aspects are a huge part of who we are. And, I think sometimes we get nervous about saying the wrong thing, that we just ignore it, and I don't think that's good either. So anyways, I love what you had to say, and I think maybe that could be a possible solution. Again, the prompts, you would have to work on the wording and making sure it's appropriate, but maybe that's something that you could either institute in your classroom or as an administrator maybe encourage your teachers to do someday as well. So thank you for sharing, and have a good one.